y'all. Listen, we had to call a spade a spade. Jay-Z is suing Tony Busby for 100 million. Y'all, get down. We got to talk about this. And you know we got the legal papers. He is breaking it down. Now, let me just say, remember what we said? Baby, if Tony Busby is lying, you don't have to worry because you can go after him and get buku money. Like Tony Busby said, he is hardly broke. This also completely confirms that there was no settlement. Ain't no way they had a back office deal where Tony Busby gets humiliated, his professional reputation gets destroyed, he gets his booty kicked by Jay-Z, and then Jay-Z sues him for 100 million. Y'all, stop. What settlement negotiations? What did he give Tony Busby? $1 billion? Because that's how much business it's going to cost him. I'm sure there's a lot of people right now that might have been considering going to Tony Busby and they're running over to Tyrone Blackburn, Douglas Victor, or any other lawyers to actually get their complaints heard. I'm sure there might even be some people that had cases that decided to settle. But I don't think it was Buzbee and this 13-year-old girl because baby, a settlement don't look like this. Listen, let's get into the court documents because this is actually juicy. I also want to be like, Jay-Z, shut up. And part of me wants to laugh this case out of the courts. But you know what? We doubted that Alex Spiro had a plan, but we should have known by Alex Spiro's reputation. He is no joke. We were actually saying, and I stand by that, and a lot of legal experts say that motion to dismiss, it would have been tossed out. This case would have proceeded. That means Tony Busby bowed out for a different reason. And he bowed out on the day that he had to show proof that he had submitted documentation to actually practice in federal Southern Court, Southern District of New York. Now, he is licensed in Eastern District of New York. He is licensed on New York state level, but federal level, he's only licensed in the Eastern District of New York. And for some reason, he would not file in the Southern District of New York. Listen to what, this is an excerpt from Jay-Z's case where, oh, baby, Jay-Z said, if it's extortion that you want, baby, I'm going to show you you just made that mistake. And you're going to pay me for every one of those tears that Blue cried. Again, is Jay-Z innocent? We believe all victims, but the victim is saying that they dismissed with prejudice when they didn't have to. With prejudice means they can never bring up these cases civilly. Now, if there's criminal charges, if the DA wants to bring it up, that's a different thing. But as we know, I don't think that they ever made a complaint to criminal. Anyway, here's what it says. Paragraph 11. As a result, I took Mr. Busby's demand letters to communicate to me that if I did not agree within the next 2 weeks to ultimately pay his clients substantial amounts of money, he would falsely brand me in the media as a child rapist, file lawsuits against me claiming falsely that I had done these horrible things and attempt to bring the criminal justice system down on me by having his clients make false accusations against me to the FBI and other law enforcement agencies. Now, already, I want to giggle at this because, I mean, he's right. Like, he didn't actually act, but it was the implication. But in court of law, you can't really try somebody on implication. It has to be beyond a reasonable doubt, but it gets better. Listen. It is no exaggeration that I viewed this as an existential threat to my reputation, my career, my family, and everything else I've spent my life achieving. And because it was all predicated on completely false accusations, I considered Mr. Busby to be blackmailing me. I felt enormous pressure to protect my family from what Mr. Busby threatened and to preserve my professional reputation. I felt mental anguish knowing someone, Tony Busby, was attempting to maliciously destroy me, my livelihood, and my family. Now, what's the big thing of that? He said the buzzwords for defamation, the Cardi B buzzwords. Malicious intent. So you have to not only know what you're saying or spewing is untrue, but you have to do it in an attempt to actually want to hurt. And you have to know for a fact it's causing mental anguish. Again, I felt that Mr. Busby was placing a bang bang to my head. What? placing a bang bang to my head that I either bow to his demands or endure personal and financial ruin. His actions caused me mental anguish about the ticking time bomb and what it would do to me, my family, and my hard-earned reputation. Let me just say this, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I believe the victim. I believe all victims. Like you, I believe all victims. And like I said, y'all don't ever have to worry about a billionaire. A billionaire will find justice, baby. The courts were made for billionaire justice. And we said early on, if Busby was telling the truth, then Jay-Z, you deserve everything and more. But if he's not telling the truth, I say, Jay-Z, go ahead and rip his life apart. We've always taken this, and it looks like he's taking option B because, again, the one thing everybody can't explain is, and you can't use, oh, maybe there was a secret settlement. No, maybe he was scared. Busby was a former Marine, and the feds got the back for anything that's going on. Stop it, right? But I will say this. Buzbee has still not explained the why of it all. He's just showing pictures of his chupacabra and his ranch and all this other stuff. Anyway, again, people can stay mad about this, but nobody can give me, besides shadow explanations and conspiracy theories. And you know, I love a good conspiracy theory, but I need one that makes sense, right? Nobody can actually explain to me why Tony Busby did what he did because what he did put him in the absolute worst light. He may well actually end up paying Jay-Z $100 million for this. It wasn't smart legally. It wasn't necessary legally. It was a legally. I don't care what y'all hearing. I'm telling y'all, legally, this was objective and subjective humiliation. No lawyer, this isn't part of a bigger game plan, but no lawyer, no human would agree to this. Jay-Z is now trying to get $100 million out of him. Like, y'all stop. Anyway, not y'all, but the people in the back. I refuse to be intimidated or extorted by Buzbee. After receiving his demand letters, my lawyer contacted Buzbee's firm to find out information regarding Dole's clients and the basis for the false allegations. Buzbee's associate refused to provide any information about their false allegations unless I signed a non-disclosure agreement. Buzbee himself never returned the call. Okay, I do believe that part, he should have provided more information when you are being sued in order to think that you even want to sit down in mediation. Meanwhile, Buzbee continued to spread false claims about me to the press. He also alluded to being me who was bringing a claim against, including by commenting on, liking, and engaging with social media comments, speculating that I was the person, Celebrity A, that he intended to name in a lawsuit that would allege that I sexually assaulted his clients. On December 2024, Buzbee made good on his threat by adding me as a defendant to a lawsuit he already filed on behalf of Jane Doe. He also made good with this threat to accuse me publicly and outside of the court system of raping a minor. In fact, before filing the lawsuit, he even contacted an NBC reporter to disclose that he would soon be naming me in the lawsuit. What? And he continued his threats to report his targets to law enforcement agencies for criminal investigation. Among other things, he stated to TMZ again that he was not ruling out filing charges against me with New York State prosecutors. When I read this, I was shocked, appalled, and devastated. Okay, so hold up. He contacted NBC employee. That show of an NBC interview was Buzbee's idea? It was incredibly painful for my wife and me to sit, look at him talking about Beyonce, to sit down with our children, one of who was at the age where her friends would surely see the press and ask questions about these claims and explain this. I mourn the loss of the innocence for my children, including one who was around the age that the female minor claims to have been when she was five. No, he didn't remake his little Facebook auntie post, but you know what? You got that. Okay, fine, right. I'm heartbroken that my children have to endure hearing these things about their father. Although my utmost priority is my family, I'm also concerned about the impact these false accusations would have on my career, and more importantly, the negative effect it could have on all people who work with me. I know that false allegations like the one Buzbee levied against me can be career ending and threatening to destroy what I worked so hard to build. Buzbee's actions undermine my relationship, my company Rock Nation's relationship with other businesses in sports and entertainment space. We have agreements to produce entertainment programs for certain sporting events. After Mr. Busby filed this lawsuit, the media reported that other businesses could end their deals with Rock Nation and force one to speak out and address these faults. So the NFL. Immediately after Mr. Busby went public with his false accusations, my company, Rock Nation, also lost another contract in the sports and entertainment space that would have generated revenues of approximately 20 million per year. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, he is talking about those casinos, I believe, with Michael Rubin. Remember how they were trying to get the 40/40 clubs in Midtown, and they were going to be casinos and sports betting and 40/40 club? Yeah, he's trying to say he lost that because of Tony Busby. I mean, and that was for a 5-year contract, so that's 100 million right there. On top of that, the damage that him and Rock Nation might have gotten, other business deals. And I know that Moe and Shandong one that they paused until this whole matter got cleared up. So he is at this point suing him for about $100 million. Social media comments online responding to Busby's public statements about me and accusations against me have caused me harm. For example, people have said, I can't wait until you join Diddy in prison, then later in hell. He needs to be in jail. Jay-Z needs to be locked up. Jay-Z about to go down. All of you at Rock Nation, Jay-Z, all of you are going down. Just wait and see. Lock Jay-Z up. Other comments have accused me of being a Satanist, a trafficker, a terrorist, and a monster. Oh my God, called me the N-word and threatened violence against me and my wife, including to delete or execute us. I was harshly criticized by others for accompanying my daughter to the premiere of her movie a day after Mr. Busby filed the Jane Doe lawsuit against me. Media outlets reported that Disney was hesitant over my attendance at the premiere because of the accusations. I feel that Busby purposely filed this lawsuit on the eve of my daughter's premiere to put me in the position of having to choose between supporting my daughter or hiding to avoid the negative press coverage. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California, the foregoing are correct. Okay, so y'all, what y'all got to say? Yeah, Busby. Yeah. And you know what the sad part is? Nobody can explain why he dropped this case against Diddy. People can have conspiracy theories about Jay-Z, but nobody can explain why he dropped this case against Diddy. What did we say when we first started? We find it interesting that Jay-Z never filed anything under penalty of perjury. He has filed something very detailed under penalty of perjury. It was going to survive motion to dismiss. Jay-Z knew that. Alex Spiro knew it. They were gearing up for court. Tony Busby dropped the case. Tony Busby also withdrew it with prejudice, which means he can never bring this up again. According to Jay-Z, he never reported it to criminal, and he wants Busby to compensate him for his damages, which are north of $100 million. You guys, there wasn't a settlement. There wasn't anything. And I get it. You want to defend all victims. But this case, Busby, stop defending Busby. Let him come out and explain what happened. There was no settlement. There was no NDA. Let him come out and explain what happened. He said he's not scared. Why is the whole world thinking of all these fantastical reasons? Why? He just humiliated himself and pretty much destroyed getting any future business, at least off of the Diddy Jay-Z stuff. Why would he do that? Why? Again, I don't want to hear your opinion, not yours, but the people in the back, on what happened. I want Buzbee to answer because he can answer. And he will. And instead, he's feeding chupacabras, carrots, and lettuce, cute little things, right? On his little ranch in Antoka. But when are you going to answer? You filed more cases against Diddy, but if the evidence was so shoddy that you didn't even try to move it past motion to dismiss, again, you withdrew it before the judge could rule motion, then why did you bring it in the first place? And why did you say all these things and had us rallying behind a victim that at the end of the day, it looks like everything Alex Spiro was saying was true? Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.